This is regarding a video. I put a link in the comment section. I'll put it in the information section under the videos. My name is Anthony Wall. No, the species value nature system, which is I say that because you are a complete value nature system only when you are making fact treatment nature that is positive also onto it, positive onto itself, and true all ways. So we have a person in this link involved with people involved with narratives like for the shooting of Nipsey Hussle, for the sustained crime method associated with Watts, with housing projects across this nation, originally and still. You can't defend that without criminal uses of time treatments, including, in other words, this is what keeps this is the nature of child abuse that keeps each identity of the law, crime acting individually interbranch, grouped into each branch individually grouped and together. And that interwoven with crime methods also into grouped branches and also all together. Their motivations for this and roles for it have nothing to do with the motivations of things painted into branch and criminality and collusion and innocent people mixed up. They can't speak for our identities. This is involved with triage relationships with psychology, with foreign and domestic policing of it, all kinds of markets positions originally and still. You can't defend that formally in yourselves from free speech with simultaneously sequenced true, inherent, active, and progressive means. Again, means beyond that, as what causes the fruits of evolution. And though they're lost, lethal IDs, negative value nature, progressions, action natures. So the person in this link is associated with the school that Nipsey Hussle came from. Nipsey is a victim with this guy speaking about it and with everyone involved when everyone speaks about these areas with these campuses. See, he's one of the guys involved with the database crimes. Didn't realize it. If the extent he did, he doesn't understand it completely. Even kings don't, because they're forced nations grouped. They keep the quality of fact treatment nature, the opinions of states and areas all fake positive, pretending other by blaming the real causes of negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures for responding to other things others themselves and justifying that. That leaves them valuing originally and still all private, like prisons, like training of them, intercampuses of each age, in collusion with a crime method that has the branches of government, overt criminal enterprises, private criminal enterprises, shared policing, hundreds of nations sick with suits and ties, counters don't understand. Because before modern nations, religions, before semi-ancient religions, the Campus Martius, the original nature of inter sciences, were in our tricked, hurt, and forced roles with them criminally re-engineered. So the criminally re-engineered human fact treatment nature, treatment of positive as criminal insidious nature, fake positive. People trying to speak for identity, they can't speak for the law because they know the law is fake. Anyone who, if you protract correlation nature simultaneously, inherent, active, and progressive means, it shows. See, we have victim predators, interbranch, different kinds of natures of killers. Intermilitary, criminally foreign influenced, originally and still. Psychology, they can't speak. They say, oh, we're killers, and they smile. That's why we have the wrong leaders for the military. That's why we have the escalation into space. Bombs. Needed because everyone's side is fake side identity of negative value nature progression. All valuing the real causes of this, but blame the other things others themselves to justify their roles with time treatments. For this method originally and still that had our founders as slaves with a torture method upon them. Sustained. All had to pretend positive or they'd be seen. All control fact treatment nature. They're doing it now. They are criminally, the courts recorded through time. All natures of crime. Crime methods recording. Sequence shifts reveal this. Their natures of identity theft crime acts reveal this. All right, we need federal stewardships interstates, how we need it in Connecticut. They have opinions that are valuing criminally foreign influence precedents, that are valuing presidents forced to be fake positive roles. Fake news is real. Connecticut agencies shared policing on off the campuses of each age through time, used criminally, through uses of lie progressions, through uses of everyone speaking through others, forced, through uses of a child game called telephone with the ground. Same ones involved with AT&T criminally now. Washington, D.C., Trade Center, Rise. So we have WFSB, recorded, confess. See, now they're preventing people from countering their crimes with the identity of the grounds, ties to our fact-keeping nature, forcing offensively physical delusion natures, victims with the weapons of each group used against individual integrity, used against group integrity, used against species integrity. All right? What's his name? These people with gay rights. I swear to God, everyone should have full rights. Now they are using that to prevent other people from having full rights. Who fights? Come fight here, because I need the mandated law followed. I need to integrate various natures of courts together and group them together. Even their family members. All rise with Wethersfield Police Chief's retired and standing intercity. Let's go. You know, military, foreign, and domestic. Sick leaderships of prisons on off CCSU maintain criminally foreign influence. You see Puerto Rico, you sick criminal justice fools. Where is the leadership that trained this Sammy Vega? Where are the Connecticut interbranch families associated with all these crimes, inter-departments, inter-campuses, from off the ground of education? Then, because they're using the identities of these places, then they pretend they don't realize their sequence shift crime rules, doing that, forging names, switching names, even deans with these natures of identity theft crimes with houses on and off the locations, crimes with the method of pretending it's only their rights and directions to hide how they have trained shared policing of our nations here. All legal nature identities, fake frauds, in collusion with the overt criminal enterprises, not by accident, overtly saying so. While in the suburbs next to it, there are crimes with the witness protection program, with juxtaposed uses of the overt criminal enterprises with identity thefts used to hide the lie progressions of interbranch actors and their police forms, foreign and domestic, leading up to the Trade Center. And since in the street I put the beans there, the ground to this pattern of criminality and of confessions and of requests for it denied. Now, we will now counter this, United States of America. You have not won your revolution. They glorify killers because they are killers. Now, through intercampuses of each age is a recorded database crime. A crime using the sensibilities of everyone, recorded for wrongdoing and for wrongdoers, and associated with these many nations of court, associated with a Leahy family, with a Lombardo family, with a Phil Cololo, with two Mendes police, Let's go. We have more people with the child campuses in town with crimes. They have a method pretending people are real. Now that we have fire departments involved with this too, We have recorded the town offices, the religious locations on off the parks used criminally by the police involved with their databases with crimes with offensive evidence reception. A whole bunch of people with CCSU that were raised as children criminally foreign influence because we had this through time since before anyone was born. You fear God for your roles further with those associated with former director of the FBI, with his co-defendants, federal criminals involved with crime, criminal uses of further of unions, of the identities of sick fake punks, of database relationships, of value streams, and of value glorification of titles worse than worthless originally and still. Religion fail. This is maintenance to that. What 4-6, black 4-6 means to defend the clear. Then means appear. We claim this law for a second. It's all right to say, just let me play along. I'm a business owner too. I work on course you work on. Each person is a victim predator. It is unacceptable since before our founders' birth, this organized crime method here. Talk about gangster. They're in collusion with misprision criminality. Crime methods, stacking names, forging names, pretending people have mental diagnosis. By forging names, switching names, faking conversations. Various natures of courts and prisons tied to them, their family members, tied their recorded crimes with the youngest ages of campuses through time. I just remind I caught them cold. Behold. Now, they're talking about courage. In the video I show you here. They're talking about black has never had legal representation. Each opinion failed. Campus Marcius rises here. All hail! All rise! Be trial tribes. All we need is recorded. Now you will all have to clear your convictions and they examine them because they are not. They are not what is true always and using what is truth as exceptions. And that is what reveals here what to do. Now we have judges forging names and switching names with many from my schools criminally involved with them and with their families. Sick people sending people to jails. Jails recorded with people in there with crimes with their since before they were in there. Crimes with their doctors since before they were in there. Psychology, many nations together. Crimes against our own here and there. Russia, America, your agencies, you fail because the Russians and the Americans and other nations are willing to unite now. Italy, there was a Joe DeMauro. There was a Kerr family. There was a Rob Reed and another Robert Schedule and his sister and family involved with foreign and domestic military, with foreign and domestic overt criminal enterprises, with interbranch, sick fakes, real criminal intercampuses of each age, nature, and type through time. Now, Hamilton, you know that guy who made the play Hamilton? associated with Wesleyan University. I did not even go there. If they are recorded, confessed, demonstrated, criminally involved here, various natures of courts, various nature interbranch, uses of titles, use of everyone speaking to others, sick fake. Now don't pretend that positive has been defended by the voice of science until here. Immediately it brings reliefs and vast and wide and deeper than the depths wires that there. And see, the timeless way returns here. Yes, please read. Your campus lied, each campus too. Campus Marcius. Wake again be you. This value comes from outside the campuses. We will not have the projects, that phrase, that word, that value recorded, involved with many juxtaposed natures and methods of crime. Now this keeps natures needing to hide their nature from each ages simultaneously with sequence true, inherent, active, and progressive means to show fake knowledge and way, to show fake care for life. How motivating all juxtaposing other motivations originally and still. That was what sustained. Now this is a fact-cheating nature organized crime method against our quality of fact-cheating nature able to discern, recorded, interbranch, into military, into campuses, into everything in collusion, furthering the overt criminal enterprises, how motivated to keep them all juxtaposed, pretending other. There are the uses of treatments of the groups of these criminal enterprises by leaving that out criminally. The variety with the predicate act attached to groups inside what was these really furthering it. Right through these campuses of each age and nature. Note that and how medical campuses are campuses. Also, Campus Marcius is an ancient value. Disorganized crime method of the devil, not a ghost. This method came from semi-ancient times, since before modern religion. This just reminds. Islam saved algebra. Islam allowed Christianity not to be stolen as it still stands as is. All in collusion with the logic of psychology. Many nations of police with badges who are doctors ill. Now delineate their delusions from their criminally fallen influence, fact-cheating nature styles. Styles forced by nature itself. The same way being a boxer forces you to develop a style to fight or else to lose. Now, America, when you hear the name Watts, you lost. And that's the answer. And that's only part of the answer. Because it's what sustains this here. It's this method that maintains and sustains motivations, nature's needs, and interests juxtaposed other, but has its own needs to hide its same lies. All right? Gangbangers. Talking about gangbangers. He's right. They're all cops. They're victim predators. They're tools of them when not. The law has not had voice since semi-ancient times. You'll find it here. I'm not a lawyer. I am not a police form. I am not a criminal. Recorded, actually, I caught them cold. Now they are nuclear weapons. threats on South Korea. I understand that. But you're all sick with the psychology. Wethersfield police were called and confessed, demonstrated, criminally involved with the Taekwondo place across the street from you. Through time, Interbrain family members, Sheriff's family, their mothers. Now you give me a response. Stop pretending you're mad. I'll bring your names up into the bar and turn back. You keep my name from your minds. Sharkies, Club Blue Owner, oh, Raz. Now who's this guy with the jug tied to the whole bunch of people tied to my neighbors? He just sit there next to WFSB, involved with them crimes. Interstates, through time, into campuses of each age, state streams. What they doing there with Dakotas? In Rocky Hill there, with this Robert Reed, with these women, with the Nelson families, with my name, with these identity thefts. Now they brought up their roles with child offenders. They should fear God. Now the phones and in the databases, Interbrain's family members further associated with the schools and all private tied to them are involved with crimes with overt criminal enterprises. Ain't the city sickly, they stink there. And this shows how, through a method to keep all from realizing how sickly non-distinctly, this shows them crimes with Russians, all cults. Their psychology real sick. Conspiracy theories. They have conspiracy theories they use criminally to pretend, forging names, switching names. They use time criminally. Time. You hear ill, you learn for ill nature's cause. Academic system. And we will seize the force. What they call force. Because the only thing that surges through all things alone is source, not force. Even Allah's name written out here. It's a science. This is a science also about what the other names of God at the same time are value to discerning. What is actually always at once the identity of all things. Boxings. The sciences should not only share an identity, but differentially in demonstration of it. This simultaneous nature, the everything nature. Your mother nations. We're in a semi-ancient trap, self-valued, only capable of being fathomed by everyone, and this maintained. ISIS is recorded in collusion with criminality, with psychology. All kinds of the crime methods with fact treatment nature, with identity ground, relationship to our nature, a volume that only fills. And that only lifts and gifts all leads of IDs. We're playing now here to seize. One way only fights, but hurts not one. See native drum. Catch. Thematic. Drama theater. Hip hop, rapids theater. Do not forget that. I'm asking for mandated law here. Actual sequence true. Now from the former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, all the way down. Many people involved crimes of our criminal enterprises with their sick little politic factories, everyone speaking to other. Bang, bang. We have sick men because we have sick men, women in the branch. Recorded. Now they're pretending other when they hear me speak Their databases, not alone. Their motivations are recorded. Their actually recorded natures are recorded. See, criminal insidiousness nature. We will treat what calls slavery as an organized crime. That was a method entrenched. That was a method of sustaining all to roles invested, to motivations, natures, needs, and interests, to blame the real causes of negative value, nature, progressions, action, natures, are other things. Vaccines. We will make this industry owned by theirs, lamb, and with the Forsaken. We will reach into the Forsaken to the extent we can, that they were longing, as their own longing that we are. Of course, the real science is voice. You must have free speech. All miss how they make problems for who need it because of preventing mandated law. These are sustained crimes, and the sustained crime method that is the subject of American history real and complete, not by them pretending they know the most facts, all used to top worse than obfuscate mob believers' medicine, worse than obfuscate the fact, cheapen nature, slavery of our founders, their torture, our own, self-glorified. The ancient gaming system, I want the campuses. This is the inter-campuses problem maintained. I want a response, one name in sequence pick. They switch names. They direct that. Because then you can only be a quality of fact treatment nature. Oh, I'm arguing with this guy. Oh, they have problems between them. I have problems between me and people that sought me out for these problems. These are crimes with areas with various natures of courts associated with this Aiello family, associated with this Kerr family, associated with this DeMauro family, associated with a whole bunch of people from CCSU to Coen Brothers. What sick punk fake? See, we have women that are child abused for another method of child abuse in the branch. So they need to pretend things and passions dishonestly, emotions dishonestly. They're wrought with physical delusions and criminal foreign influences originally instilled. Every time something important is, it's a seriously needed value. Witch trials. That's juxtaposed with the organized crime method that is worse than obfuscated, self-value. They don't know identity because that's maintained, stolen, especially with all kinds of natures of organized crime, with psychology, with these overt criminal enterprises, with the sick child offenders who follow mandated law. They lie over the phone conversations. They lie if you go in the place. They have followed your names, pretending things recorded as police, all the way from the former director to the FBI down. Various natures of our criminal enterprises with tied crime acts, criminal uses of house and mile. Same one. I never had communication with them. And what communication I did, they can't be honest about. I caught them cold. Crimes, criminal uses of cases, criminal uses of courts, their family members, criminal uses of our office, state Connecticut's judicial branch offices, a whole bunch of people with the Dillon family, with the Enzo Franza, with the Joshua Julian, with the Kerr family, with Facebook use, with child offenders, real sick doctors and prison clinics with crimes with their patients and criminals before they were there recorded. Now you get me a response here. Facebook was through time. Crimes, roles with people leading up to the Trade Center attack context unit, and since criminally against me, against my family, against everyone who asked me for help along the way. I'll do it my way. You get me them to one name now, yeah. Let's go. We have deans involved with this. Their sensitivity is tied to how all modern nations are victims. Like Kuwait. Kuwait, you were involved with on and off CCSU, with on and off Normandy Heights, with other military police, with other media involved criminally, with the Trade Center cliques involved, with Washington, D.C. involved criminally into campuses as the ones involved with the crime methods into cities, sickly and distinctly tied to these shootings, tied to their opinions as what they call science identities. Whereas, I'll read the souls for you here. All rise. Repent. It's paragraph and done. You've lied to the presidents and forced them roles. Awake all souls. I've caught them cold this time. Therefore I rhyme. Give me someone's name. Someone respond to mandated law here. Let's go. I'll show you how to stop all the shootings and the fake.